Is we on? Check, check, 1, 2, check, checking my mic out there in Patreon land. Is we on? All my settings is right. Hey, Barty, welcome. Love that you're here. All right, y'all. So me and the VIP patrons was talking behind the scenes before we went live. We totally understand that this movie is not giving, okay? And here's the trap that Hollywood be setting. They're going to give you a fire trailer. They're going to blow things up. They put two sexy, tall, dark, chocolate black mans in your face. Damson Idris, Anthony Mackie, new on Netflix. They promised you all this. And then you hit play and you was like, okay, I got. It's cool. I guess I got. So I really do I really do want to speak about great films with you guys because I like when we're invested. I like when we're passionate. I like when we love to just chomp on the pieces of the movie together and we really enjoy that. And I don't like when we got movies that don't let us like do that. Okay. So I'm gonna start off the back by saying, I'm sorry. I didn't know. And that's the gamble of doing this because I want to be fresh. I want to be on time. I want movies to come out and boom, we on it. Like you and I talking about it. But the gamble in doing that is like, it might suck. And then we already plan to do it. Like, you know what I mean? So welcome to the Dissection, an exclusive show just for you. Thank you so much for giving me your energy, your time, your minds on this incredible, incredible Sunday of 2021. Shout out to my VIPs are here. We got Elle and we got Christine. Elle's also in the chat with you. Iana, what's up? And hey, Barty said, when it was finished, I said, that was cute. That's very much what it was. I don't know. All right. I don't know. I'm your host, JustLatasha, and we're here bi-monthly. So here's what's going to happen. Let me look at my calendar. Today is the 17th. I've been seeing that, number one, there's 5 Sundays in this month, long as hell. Okay. So we're a little short of the bi-monthly. So I've been seeing comments saying, we miss Boozy Brunch Sunday. We miss Boozy Brunch Sunday. We miss Boozy Brunch Sunday. Heard you. Since this month is so long, since there's mad Sundays, let's do a Boozy Brunch Sunday revisit. We're going to do a Boozy Brunch Sunday on the 31st, last Sunday of January. And then we're going to follow up with the following Sunday with an exclusive dissection of Malcolm and Marie. I gotta figure out who to call on Netflix because look, it's a bunch of people that don't even do this. That had early access and everybody was on the timeline yesterday talking about, oh, I loved it. Where the hell is my invite? Whose leg I gotta pull? Like, what do I gotta do? Hella people got early access. I've been banging on Netflix door like, yeah, I should be getting screeners. I ain't there yet. So Malcolm and Marie comes out Friday, February 5th, which means we will be doing our exclusive private dissection Sunday, February 7th. So Boozy Brunch Sunday and then Malcolm and Marie. And then we're hitting off February real strong as hell, right? I'm excited. And from what everybody's been tweeting and whatever, Malcolm and Marie is good. It's good. Another quarantine film. We're trapped in one location, but we're going to use what we got. But it looks beautiful in the black and white. I stand Zendaya. Yes, we do need more dark-skinned black actors in the forefront, dark-skinned black girls. But I still stand Zendaya. So that's what's coming up. And I'm super, super, super excited. Do my VIPs want to come in and just say hi? See who we got up in here? Oh, Elle with a wave. Hi, Christine. Hi, Elle. Thank y'all for being here. All right, let's dive in. And we know what it is. But we're going to do what we came to do. Outside the Wire, starring Damson Idris, Anthony Mackie. And Anthony Mackie produced this, which was really cool information to find out. In the year 2036, a drone pilot sent into a war zone finds himself paired with a top secret android officer on a mission to stop a nuclear attack in a lawless Europe. Here's a fun fact. This is very real. The use of drones, or what they're called in like official language, unmanned aerial vehicles in the American military has grown exponentially. So this is actually a real trend that's happening. Removing human-bodied soldiers from war and going in with just machines. It's like a video game to these guys at this point. Like, why am I going to go out and die? I'm going to just make a machine that goes and does the thing. So we have a lot to talk about in terms of that today. And this movie starts to pose these ideological questions about humanity, AI, whether or not emotional sincerity or analytical prowess are more important than when it comes to saving lives. Which factor determines when it's okay to go in and defend yourself or go to war? And there's an idea in this movie that keeps happening is the U.S. soldiers believe that they are the ones keeping peace in Europe. And we can ask, is that possible? So Elle says, wait, I just saw the title. Is that like Outside the Fence? Low key, yeah, which I actually couldn't wrap my mind around because it wasn't directly clear for me what the wire was, where that boundary was, and what exactly is he leaving. That wasn't very clear to me. But I understood it in context that this kid flies his planes from the comfort of America, making a mess over in Europe and going home to his wife and child. But he was outside the wire. Like, it's also a pet peeve of mine when the movie says the title in the movie. I really hate that. I don't know, and it's nonsensical. There's no good reason why I hate it that much, but I really do. Okay, let's go on with the opening shot where we see a digital screen, and on the flip side, humans engaging in a war using these screens, right? From off the back, we have this tech versus human. We're using robotic resources to solve human problems, right? And the Pentagon is sending what they are known as GUMPs. What a dumb name for a robot. Like a killer robot. I feel like the language is to like disarm the soldiers, like, yo, what's happening outside? It's a GUMP. Now you're not that scared. Your defenses are down. You run a little bit slower. How'd you call it? The attacker ass kicker 3005? You would have put a pep in your step just a little bit. It's a GUMP. Weird name. But these are the robotic soldiers that go into battle. We also see in this opening shot that we have this sort of aerial view, this bird's eye view, aka the God view. And this is exactly what these soldiers are doing, right? They're determining who gets to live, who gets to die, aka playing God. So we are going to meet our protagonist, our hero, our main character on this journey, Thomas Harp, aka during war, he is known as Rolling Thunder. Come up and see me sometime. Okay. Harp is a drone pilot sitting in the comfort of his office in a trailer in the USA, making a mess down in Europe. And right now we can begin our color theory. We see two colors here. We see green and yellow. And on one side of Harp, we see green, aka the artificial intelligence, aka the tech. On the other side, we see his partner, a woman, a human, colored in yellow. And this we speak about often, the 180 rule. Usually in film, your camera has to stay on, pick a side and stay on it. In this, they intentionally broke that 180 rule. They shot him from over here, and then they shot him from over here. And this is how you break a rule correctly, because this character has to decide which side he gonna pick, the human side or the tech side in this journey of war. Which side is he going to align with? And this is how you do it. Yellow for human, green for tech. We also see here quickly that he's eating gummy bears as he's eradicating all these Russian lives. There's a huge emotional disconnect for this character. And also pairing something as dark and heavy as war and death with like the innocence and joy of candy. He's not thinking anything of killing these men across the pond. What a great way to show character without even saying a word. They haven't even spoken yet, right? We know, come on now. Here we go. We know what color this is, and we know what this color means. We see red with his finger on the trigger, ready to kill some more with that red target on his screen, right? The kill shot, the kill color. When we see this, we are in total danger. So I want to jump into my VIPs and the chat. Nice and intimate today. Hi, CJ. Welcome. Thomas is in trouble because he disobeyed command, even though he saved lives. They told him stand down. He went ahead, pulled that trigger, killed all the Russians, 2 of his own men, but saved 38. A launcher truck approaches the US soldiers. So do you allow 40 people to die? Or do you not listen to your boss to kill 2 in order to save 38? So I'm jumping into the chat here. And if Christine and Elle feel so inclined, please do speak. We would love to hear from you. What do we think the color white means?
Well, I want to go back to when they had, told him to not, they gave the order to not, launch because they want to save the two soldiers. When I was watching that scene, I was like, okay, that makes sense because it's 2 of them versus, they all get wiped out if he didn't do that, make that decision to do that. But I'm just thinking like, what if those soldiers that were caught there, the 2 soldiers were young Black men? I'm like, would have been still like, okay, no, don't shoot them out. I just feel like I highly doubt it. I feel like they wouldn't have valued those lives if they were Black lives. But since they were white, white boys, they were like, no, save, don't do anything yet. So, I mean, you see it time and time again. I hate to put race in it, but this is America. Always gonna put race in it, So, but that's what I'm seeing. So, I don't know. Maybe the white is some way to me is like symbolizing like how they value white lives over anybody else's. Military, even amongst your fellow men and women, you still don't have any value if you are melanated. So that's how I'm seeing it. I'm just feeling like if they would have been 2 Black men, I think they would have been more like likely to say, oh, go ahead, just let them sacrifice them to save everybody else. Yeah, go ahead. You're right to do that. Yeah. But since it's 2 white boys, that's what I'm thinking.
He made the right choice, actually. I feel like he made a calculated decision. And I think that when you're in the line of duty, you kind of can get caught up in the emotions of it. And you're not like making the, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but you're not making necessarily the most logical decision because you're letting your emotions get intertwined. And I think that kind of connected back to like the machine versus the human emotions. Like sometimes it's good that we have emotions, but sometimes we have to separate the emotions and make a logical decision. And I think the white, looking at this picture, it makes me think of like, when people die and they be like, look into the light. So it's like that life or death moment. Is he gonna walk into the light? So is he gonna go to lose his job, or is he gonna be saved, sent back to Earth? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems A. Barty agrees, I think, with Christine, but Elle definitely mirrored the same sentiments. Christine, we're definitely going to talk about race. We're definitely going to talk about race, but I'm going to talk about it a tad later, but we're definitely coming back because what you brought up was very, very, very important and very real. But I'm gonna hold it right now. Specifically, what you guys are speaking about is a question of morality. Is killing 2 to save 38 the moral choice? And to me, this is where maybe some fault comes into the plots, into the writing, because when you want to raise like a philosophical question, it really should be unclear so the audience can argue, but you have to give us something to argue. I don't see how anyone watching this movie can feel that these captains were correct. Why are you punishing him? Why are you punishing him for saving 38 of your men? Versus, y'all weren't listening to him. It was a confirmed launcher who would have killed all of them. So why is he even being punished? So I think this is just like a bad writing piece here. But what we're talking about is a question of morality. And that's what I think white essentially means when we come back and we have these ideological questions like, tipping those scales. Like, what are we doing? CJ says, I thought white could represent the indifference he felt in making his decision. It was just about the numbers for him. Right. And we also see the captains being upset. They were 18. They were good men. Negro, you're in war. What part of war don't you understand? Surely you're going in understanding that you're going to be losing some of your comrades and you're going to be taking lives that you don't know. So how are we coming back holding guilt over a soldier's head when that's the whole thing of war? So I don't know. I don't know. But what I will say, yes, CJ points out that this is a very unemotional decision for Harp. I'm going to pull the trigger because that's what makes sense. Okay. So let's lean a bit more into these colors. We see the yellow, the green, the white. The scientists are working on a robots, aka the green light, but they're doing this under a white light. Is this the right thing to do? And the question is it moral to exchange human lives for robot soldiers, right? So you're saving lives. The US is withholding their men. You're saving their life in order to go ahead and go take some for like personal interests. We also saw this shot down below, the smaller one, where all these robots are asleep. They're kind of unplugged and they're not conscious, they're not active. And that tunnel, that hallway was purely yellow. So without the robot presence, you have the humanity. Let's meet our next guy here. Under punishment, Harp is deployed and is ordered to go fight on the fields under the leadership of Captain Leo. And we see Leo, who we learn is a full active droid with the appearance of a human man, right? And he sort of greets Harp with like all stats. These are your numbers. These are your kills. Like he's reading it. He's operating like a machine, right? Ain't no handshake. Ain't no social skills. He's just very stoic and like rattling off all these information. And Leo's journey, what his goal is to track mass weapons in these secret locations and disarm the area. And we also see our antagonist, our enemy, our bad guy, Koval, who wants the nuclear weapons that are hidden in Ukraine. We got to go find this guy. We got to get the weapons from up under his plans and his control. We got to save the US. Here's where we're going. This is what's happening. And we meet Leo, obviously under yellow and green light, looking like a human, operating as a robot. So I wanted to come here. And let's really take a look at the visuals behind each character, right? Both are behind a white background, but Leo is with these old school kind of files, like these binders, but Harp is like in front of like this really cool modern LED lights. Do we think that we see a difference here in their moral values? Do we think that there's something between the characters that differs them and this is why they're shot this way? Elle says she missed this part and now it makes sense while she was while they was chasing Koval. Go ahead, Christine.
I guess with Leo's Leo, the back in the background, the old school files, I guess it's like a representation of how, you know, in the past people were more compassionate, I guess, to, you know, and, you know, using more of their emotions and their feelings and, you know, using their humanity as opposed to what's his, I don't want to call him Franklin, Jesus.
Thomas Harper.
That's right. Harper, on his side, he has the more like, you know, technological stuff, digital stuff or whatnot, which represents like being more futuristic and not having as much empathy or compassion or, you know, lack of humanity, I guess. That's what I'm seeing, because it seemed like that's how it was kind of in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Leo was, even though he was an android, he had more compassion. And Leo, even though Harper is an actual human being, he had less compassion. That's what I'm
Right.
thinking.
All right. Everybody's calling him Frankie. That's mad funny. It's Frankie.
See, like with looking at the bookcases, it reminds me of like the old IBM computers, like the original computers. Looking at Leo's picture, but these pictures actually, like the lighting and the background kind of looks a lot really similar to me. So maybe they're pointing out that Thomas is very like analytical, like a robot, and his emotions are more in line with like a robot's. And Leo is kind of closer to humanity, and he's the robot with compassion. So maybe they're pointing out that they're kind of like where the middle should meet.
Damn, L, do that shit. Do that thing, get it, do that. Yes. Wow. I have nothing to say. Yes. I have nothing to say. I also really like here that Leo, his you can't see what's inside the binders. It feels very secretive to me. All the books are closed. Meanwhile, Harp looks like an open book. You see each and every face, each and every kill, each and every target. Like, it's laid out. These are the rules. This is what I'm doing. Here's what's up. Leo's like, so is you in or not, right? Baby, when he would have shown me this transparent ass body, I would have been in. I'm going where you going, sir. I'm going where you going. We are leaving our first act. In order to do that, you have to have an inciting incident. What forces your character's journey to change, to head into a brand new journey? And why can't they just not do it? Why can't they just opt out? Like, that's, you have to make that not an option. So if Harp doesn't successfully fulfill this punishment, he's facing like prison time. He's been counted out for subordinates. This is a huge punishment. If you don't finish this, your whole life will be ruined. Say goodbye to little Octavia Rose and your baby. Say bye to Florida. And so he has to do this. Give characters an emotional motive. He's got a family. If he was just some single guy out here and he's just like, I don't care if I live or die, you got to give him a why, give them a heartstring to really go after, right? So this makes him want to stay alive and succeed at this goal because of what he wants inside and what the external world is also calling for him to be. Her name is Octavia because who is she laying up with? My man. She's in my house, okay? Again, we have a question raised. Robots are made to fulfill human command, but here Leo tells Harp, you're my subordinate. Follow my authority and don't ask no questions, right? We see this color white behind Leo, and I'm just raising more questions here. Is it even possible for robots to know morality, right? Can you teach a machine these human you got, it has to have context, it has to have experience, it has to have compassion. Can you give that to a machine? Or is morality a strictly human trait? Just like Elle said, who here is the robot? Because both of y'all are acting like it. All right. We have our moral dilemma. The citizens of this place capsize U.S. trucks so they can access survival items. So if the U.S. is there to keep the peace, why the hell are we attacking civilians who need your items to survive? Right? This is peace gone wrong. This is also a moral dilemma for Harp because he sees firsthand what his drone strikes are doing to actual human beings. What happened to your gummy bears, baby? Where the gummy bears at? Now we ain't so hungry, is we? So we are colored in yellow here. And we see this shot of this single berry as these men leave that war zone and head into a new place. And this is where Leo does something very strange. He plays into human emotion. And we see these characters drenched in yellow. And he tells Harp, lose your helmet. They got to trust you. You look aggressive. The locals got to feel like you wanted them, X, Y, and Z. And Leo tells Harp this as well, that he feels more than that captain you over there yapping to me about. I feel more than that guy. I hate him. Is that true? So with Leo setting all this up in this place, how do we feel about that berry? Christine, L, CJ, A Bar, T. How do we feel about this Barry and Iana? Why they took so long shooting this Barry?
I guess it was kind of like, I mean, I caught that too when I was watching a movie. The camera stayed a little bit longer than normal on that little red berry. So again, like, like he taught us about red signifying like danger and threats or whatnot. I don't know, maybe it was like foreshadowing of what's to come, where they were
Okay.
heading towards, with when they had met up with with the insurgents, when they were trying to transport the vaccines to them and stuff like that. So maybe that was just a signal, like a warning, like they're about to be in danger.
Definitely a warning to something. How we feel, y'all? Hey, Barty says that berry was moist. I don't know, in that dry place, why was that berry so wet?
Yeah, I don't know. I missed the berry part too.
You know what? You had a really good answer last time. You could sit this one out. She was probably eating gummy bears. That's what happened. Anybody in the chat feel anything about these berries? Because here's what I'm seeing. Okay. You have this robot telling a human how to play into humanity. He's telling you, yeah, I feel more than that guy. Oh, the locals want you to feel like this. Feelings, right? And then we see this red berry. Leo here refers to his feelings as acute sensory perception. So you have an idea of feelings that's programmed and taught. And in this instant, right after Leo does his whole speech, a mosquito bites Harp and he reacts. So you have something programmed versus something natural, the natural feelings, right? So here's where I want to talk about race. Leo's physical appearance as a Black man, and I don't know if they're doing a race blind casting for this movie, which would be a really silly thing to do. But Leo says, this is what I look like. This is what I look like. I was personally designed to make people feel calm. That's manipulation. He's manipulating human feelings. He's mimicking it. He's shoving it back to you, and he's twisting all the definitions. He don't have feelings. He has acute sensory perception. I look like this so I can make people feel calm. That means once your defenses are lowered and you're off guard, he can go in and do what he want to do. So here's where we come back to race, because the army designing this Black man soldier, when you want to play victim as a white person, Black men are scary. When you have a personal agenda of lies and power, this Black man's face is calm. So you let him into your country. Well, which one is it? What is we doing? Y'all can't just go out there picking and choosing like that. I'm sorry. Y'all can't do that. So I thought it was very strange that they would put a Black man's face on a droid, and that's disarming people across the world. Is it? Get us out of jail then. Hey, Barty asked, so they think Blacks are neutral? This is where I think a colorblind casting went out. They were like, Black people are cool. Put 2 Black guys in the lead. We're doing them a favor. We look progressive. And we're having some sore spots here because we know as Black people, that's not the actual experience of wearing Black skin. Maneuvering foreign countries, kissing babies and shaking hands. It didn't quite hit for me. So Leo does something here where he makes Harp shake his hand and then feel his arm. And this is what happens. Leo's hand was created with warmth. The rest of him is steel cold. This is a manipulation tactic. In order to disarm people, in order for me to be neutralized, in order for them to trust me, look, I ain't got no helmet. I'm putting down my gun. What's up? Shake my hand. When you shake a human's hand, it builds trust. It's that warmth. You're connecting with somebody. If you shook his hand and it was cold robot steel, you're like, this is a lie. I'm being tricked. I should be scared. He was built to manipulate and disarm emotionally, right? Remember how he met Harp when they first met. He didn't shake his hand. For what? I need you to line up and do it. Come on my journey and do what I need you to do. I don't need to shake your hand, right? But when he meets these enemies and he's trying to get something accomplished, the first thing he does is shake hands. It's manipulation. So here we have a challenge, right? Where Harp questions Leo. So if you have no emotions, how are you making plans, right? Because humans are faulty, but we need these emotions to make appropriate decisions. The 2 verses 38. We would need these emotions to make decisions, even though it gets us in bad stuff sometimes too. That's the gamble of being us. But how can you truly maneuver a world when you're emotionless? More questions raised. Let's meet another character. We meet Sophia and we see this handshake. Hey, I need them codes. Boo, what's good? Put her up against the windowsill. Put your chest in the face. You ladies know you like the little man's chest in your face now. Stop playing. He's manipulating her. Look how he and, yeah, got me calling him Franklin. He and Harp are positioned in front of these yellow lights. Look, I'm with a human. You can trust me. I'm shaking your hand. You can trust me. He's manipulating humanity so he can access the goals that he personally has. It's crazy. And we learn here that Koval has just purchased the codes in the city that they're currently in, and they're located in a vault. It's a race of time to get to those codes first. Got to get them before Koval. So I'm going to jump back into my VIPs and the chat. We come here, we do a cool fight, we take someone down. This is the person who can take them to the vault. We got to get there before Koval. Let's dissect these colors. What do we see and what do we think this all means just by looking at the colors and the settings of this shot?
The United States is dangerous and deadly.
Oh, yes.
Flag. And then the are these tables? They're covered with red table cover.
Yep.
Yep, that's what that flag stands for. Danger. I'll never wear it again.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you.
And I want to like bring back, I was just thinking about something else. Back when, Leo's character said they designed him to be a black man to put people at ease, to make them calm and trust them. And I'm like, and like you were saying, like,
where
as a black person, we're watching like where they do that at? Where they do that? They use white people for that. And we just saw a prime example of that on January 6th at the Capitol. I mean, Popo didn't do nothing to all those white folks or white peoples, because they don't, even though they were threats, they had guns, they were being violent, they were being dangerous. They still, because they were white, they don't see them as threats. So they don't treat them the way they see themselves in those people. They see them as human beings as opposed to us, so I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, it was giving race blind casting, and that can't happen. Like, that really shouldn't be happening in Hollywood rooms. That really shouldn't be.
That part when he said that just wasn't realistic. I'm like, no, we are seen as threats, even though we are not, and they're not, and it's all because of racism. It's just straight up racism. That's all it is.
Exactly right. Elle, how do we feel about these colors?
I was gonna say, to her point, it was probably because white people designed him. And so they, from their perception, they're like, oh, Black people aren't viewed as threat to broad. But actually, like, when Black people go to foreign countries, you're all a celebrity. Well, it's giving danger, like she said. And then I see the gasoline, so I thought about like fire. And then it looks kind of like the Last Supper picture. I don't know if y'all see that.
Y'all see that? I see that. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, it does remind me of the Last Supper now that you're bringing that up.
So like maybe chickens coming home to roost. I don't know.
Or maybe somebody's a the sacrificial lamb, USA, sacrificing ourselves for you.
Not
America love to do that. They love to do that.
Yeah, they like to pretend. We like to pretend to be the good guys, even though we're not.
the savior, but the whole time you are.
Yeah. So we have the colors that we've been speaking about. We have green on one side, our tech AIs on one side. We have the humanity yellow on the other. But right above this, and it may just be the way the light is hitting red, but to me it looks orange. And so I was thinking, why would that be orange? Because the tables look like red, but the canvas above looks orange. Orange is made of red and yellow. This is the violence of humanity, and this is how America was built. The humanity violence, pushing their own selfish agendas. This is how America was founded. So you have this robot enacting, is an extension of the army. He's enacting human warfare. And we have all of this shown in this very single shot. The violence that's due to human interests, with that flag hanging right over them. If this movie were better, this would be really cool. A Barty says it's giving fire to the flag. Ooh, I like that too. I really like that too. So here we arrive at our midpoint, directly in the middle of a movie. We have some kind of shift to the journey we thought we were on. Something should interrupt that. Something should change that a little bit. So we learned something here. Ain't no backup coming. This whole journey was supposed to be a mission on behalf of the army. And if and when we needed help, the army was going to show up where we told them to. And Leo says, oh, that's not happening, actually. It's just going to be me and you against Koval and like everybody he got. Yeah, me and this kid who ain't never even been on the field before. How are we going to accomplish? How are we going to do that? How are we going to accomplish that? Right. So Leo gets a little weird here. We feel a little defensive here. And Leo persuades Harp to remove his tracker. Here's something outside of the movie and outside of the dissection. I just don't understand how and why he would feel physical pain. You're a gun with a face, essentially. So I'm not understanding why he's wincing when he's getting his bionic back sliced open. And if this is a gun with a face, why would you want it to be hurt when it goes out to battle for you? That's what it's made for. It's made to go do the dirty work. And if it dies, it dies. So that's just kind of sick, right? Like you're designing this robot who actually can feel his death or wounds. Like what would be the point of that? And it didn't even serve the story for this man to be hurt, this droid to be hurt. So I was just like, Elle says the sensory sensations, maybe. I just feel like all of his emotions, and feel free to come on if you want to as well. I just feel like his emotions are computer-based. They're programs. He learns to emulate, mock emotions because of how he's programmed and what he picks, the information that he picks up and collects data and then reacts that to humans. So for this thing to feel human physical pain, I'm just not seeing it. But go ahead, Elle.
I think he was being manipulative because I don't like the times that he was in like the altercations and stuff. He didn't wince like he was feeling pain when he was.
He did though.
He did.
When he fought Koval in that big dome that we're gonna get to, and like one of the last shots, and he didn't know what's a face woke up. He didn't know Hart woke up after he'd been shot. He was like wincing over the nuclear bomb, and I'm like, why are we here?
Like his emotions, like of accomplishing it, and then like he had got shot with the armor proof, the special bullets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he was like manipulating him here though. Because
yes, that could be true. That could be true. Because I was actually thinking that too, but watching him like wince and like he's getting shot and he goes, ooh, oh, and like in other shots, I'm like, why would he be hurt? It just wasn't making, I don't know, it wasn't making no sense to me. But action scenes ensue. One thing I can say about this movie is that the stunts were fire. What they had Anthony doing with his body, it was real nice. It was very good. I can say that. Harp learns his lesson. He is officially on the other side of his job. He is the target of a drone pilot. He knows the damage. He feels the damage. And here Leo is further revealed. We have the codes. We need to find the vault. He wants to find the nuclear weapon. Leo blackmails Harp to continue the mission. Look, you done cut my tracker out. You think they're gonna protect you now? You damage official US military grade equipment. Look what you just did. Now you're trapped here. Your character still cannot opt out, even though we're increasing the stakes. We're increasing the pressure. Things are getting worse. Your character must finish this journey. He's trapped. So we have another question of morality being raised. The codes, as we see, are in this yellow box. This is something created by humans for mass destruction. Leo, this droid, has the codes, and he's officially going rogue from the army. Who's wrong, chicken or the egg? Who is the bad guy? We can't quite see. We don't quite know what's going on. We have further reveals. Leo's been working with Koval the entire time. And that lovely white lady that we met just a few moments ago, Sophia, thinks that Leo is getting the codes to fight for her resistance. He's on my team, so I know where he's at and what he's doing, right? And we see both Koval and Sophia in green. Y'all are pawns in Leo's plan. Y'all are extensions of Leo and what he's doing. We see that all these characters are surrounded by white because we have more questions. We're having battles of morality. Harp is still under the mind control of his job, the army, and he thinks this is a peace mission. Look how much damage y'all have been causing this country. The U.S. is forcing conflict here. The U.S. is destabilizing Russian communities, creating children orphans all over the place. This is a morality battle for Leo because as a machine, he can't lie to himself and he can't lie in the guise of virtuous. He can't do the kill 2 to save 38. He's a machine and physically cannot do that. But his only rule in his body and in his entire mechanism is when he sees an enemy, he will destroy them. So now we have the question. Well, who's the enemy? Y'all out here creating the bombs. I'm out here just trying to get the bomb. Y'all out here creating a war. I'm just an extension of your war, but I might turn on you because you. So who is it? So Leo will nuclear strike the U.S. and they would have treated Russian lives as collateral, as Harp has been doing. I just killed him because he was about to get our guys. Like they was, oh well. Oh, but that oh well is about to turn back on you and your country. Now you emotional. Now it ain't stats and numbers no more. Now we got feelings about stuff, huh? Where's the gummy bears now? It's what I want to know. Leo decides the U.S. is the enemy. So I'm taking y'all out because y'all made all this, okay? And as we push towards the end of Act 2, this is exactly what you want. You want to increase the stakes. You want to make harder decisions. You want to increase the fight for your character, who this is supposed to be, this journey is supposed to be something that they're looking at and being like, I can't do this. That's what keeps your audience engaged. Well, how the heck is this little guy going to fight this big problem? How are you going to solve it? You would want that for your movie so the audience would stay tuned for 2 hours. Now, this is really cool color sequence, which I like to call the sequence of humanity. Sophia's like, Harp, you can go. We're done with you. We don't need you. We're about to get these codes and be up out of here. Go ahead and go back to daddy. Harp leaves and heads back to the army where all of his leadership awaits. So as he's leaving Leo's world, we see this 2 colors split right in half, the green versus the yellow. He's leaving Leo's AI tech world and he's heading towards humanity. So we see as the sequences go through that he turns from green to yellow. He's choosing the side of the humans. So let's meet him. Harp and his leaders are discussing Leo's plan. How are we going to fix this? I want to come back home. I want to be on y'all side. Something bad is going to happen. and he's finally taking accountability, something that his character hasn't been able to do since the start. So we're starting to see a piece of his character arc come into fruition. How does your character change? How does his journey change who they are essentially? But there's a color we did not speak about this entire time, and I just want to see what we thinking about here. What do we think the color blue means? Because it's been popping up throughout the movie, but it didn't have a very particular reason or definition. So what are y'all reading from this? And I included a shot from earlier when Harp was first traveling to go visit Leo. This yellow tunnel was covered in these blue TV screens. So now we're back here with this color blue.
Maybe like outside of the action. So like the blue is like the people that are not actually in the game, but they're like watching from the outside. That's all I got.
Wait, who would be watching? The military, or who would be watching?
Public and like the captains and the people like in the center. So this is what they see, but they're not actually in it.
Got you. They're overseeing, but they're not physically engaging all of this mess.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. How do you feel, Christine?
I'm not sure about the blue. I don't know, but I did have something about the green. I had something about one color I was thinking about earlier. Mm-hmm. You got me on the blue. I don't know what the blue. Maybe loyalty. I don't know, or losing a sense of it, and who you should be loyal to, who's good, who's bad, I guess. But I was thinking about something with green. Like I was just thinking, since this, these are people in the military, army, and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking about, those little, because I used to play with them when I was a kid, the little army soldiers, men that were green. And like when we were on the scene where Sophia was flooded in the green, and also the what's the Russian guy, Koval, whatever.
Yeah.
And how you were saying that Leo was manipulating and playing them. I like toy soldiers. That's why they flooded in green, and those the little toy soldiers are green.
Absolutely. And they become those little
them sometimes, but I can't do it like Elle though. But I try to.
Elle clocked us on that one. She had us early. She had us real early.
We always got good ones.
CJ says, I just saw it all as another version of AI trying to save people from themselves and finding an even more extreme way to end up destroying their creatives for the good of all life. Yes. Leo also said, kill 1 million, save on 100 million. I think that's what Killmonger was saying too in Black Panther towards the end. He was just like, oh, I'm gonna kill some people so I can set us Black Americans free or something or another. But CJ continues by saying percentages over a sense of morality, which is why he thought he'd have an ally in Harper. You did it. So I'm about to do it. Why are you not on board? Why are you giving me so much resistance? Damn, right? I'm not going to quite answer this blue question yet because I also wasn't sure. I wanted to see maybe if we can collectively discover something, but this blue has just been kind of thrown in there. I'm also unsure, so I don't know. But I'm going to move on. I think I have an idea, but I'm going to get to it just a little later. So here we have our moral paradox, which Leo introduced to us earlier. Leo is able to disable his programming that makes him have to obey human order by tricking Harp into becoming a human with bad judgment. If I decide this human has bad judgment, mental health problems, or he's not acting right, and he says, Leo, go kill my mom, Leo's programming would say, that's not right. I'm actually not going to obey that human order. So he had to orchestrate Harp into taking out his tractor, being confused, resisting, doing all this. So Leo's programming could justify not having to listen to him. So in order to find this rogue droid who doesn't have a tracker anymore, Harp attempts to find him using all forces on deck. Yellow, humanity; green, tech; white, morality. I got to put all these pieces together to take down this huge enemy. So Harp calls, he connects with his ex-partner Belle, who we saw at the top of the movie, and he's giving her drone pilot instructions over the phone. She uses the tech, all of these screens, to track Leo, and humans get to feel like they're doing the right thing. So I just raised the question. They're fixing this nuclear problem essentially to save themselves. But like Harp, they're having trouble taking accountability for what they did first, right? You had war presence, and you're doing all these casualties on European land for your own self-interest, and now you're stopping this problem because the missile spun around and faced back on your ass. You say when you point and when you shoot, you got three fingers pointing back at you. That nuclear bomb said about face reverse, and now you want to go ahead and save stuff. So I'm having trouble feeling like and aligning with the US men who feel like they're heroes here and doing a good job, because the only time you stood up to stop a war was when them bombs was facing you. And I don't know if the movie meant to do that. I think the movie very much fully wants us to believe USA heroes. But it's not selling me. I don't know about y'all, but it's not selling me. So Harp will find Leo at the nuclear site. He's going to go on this journey alone, and the US will stay behind and strike that bomb and sacrifice one of their US Army bases in order to make that bomb not come over to America. Yeah, I'll give up one to save 1 million. Oh, thank you. Thank you, USA. Thank you so much. We see this yellow and white, all of this white beginning to take over the humanity versus the morality in order to defeat the tech. Look at our war vehicle, a whole Hyundai Sonata. Yes. Literally escalating your problems. He's coming up the stairs to find his big enemy. How in his right mind, after everything that he's seen, how does he honestly believe he's going to win this? I would have brought like 2 soldiers who have been to battle before. Like, you thought you was going to do this by yourself and it was believable? A. Barty says there was no clue, or there was no hero or enemy in this movie, which is why it wasn't satisfying. Oh, clear. Got you. There was no clear hero or enemy in this movie, which is why it wasn't satisfying. Great point. Because we don't really have somebody to root for. It's just niggas out here fighting. Like, that's what's fun for me, because I don't watch sports, but when I sit and people are having like this big old sports day, I just pick a team at random. Okay, well, today I'm rooting for the Nets. I don't know. It don't matter. And it makes it fun for me because now I want my team to win. I ain't got no team here. So let's come back to Blue. This movie and the US, to Harp and to its soldiers and to the entire war, even in this country, you see American flags everywhere. You saw American commercials. The US is trying to convince us and themselves that they are the good guys. That's giving propaganda. It's giving propaganda. It's giving agenda. It's giving this patriotism, is what I think Blue means. Because when Harp went back to Daddy, back in the office, he's trying to align with their values. He's trying to be this good old American soldier. Let me save my country. What? Like, why? Okay. That's just what I pulled that from out of a hat, because I'm like, what are you trying to communicate with us here? What are you trying to convey? I don't know. But Harp goes rogue again for the second time, and trying to prove that he wants to be home in the military, and trying to prove he's choosing his human team. You can't fight this thing. So why don't you just let the army strike when they could, because they're asking you for permission to, and you just get out of there? But no. Harp wants to turn off this nuclear bomb instead when the original plan said we was just going to blow it all up because we just going to stop it that way. So why does he want to save it? What lesson did he learn? Why are you spending time on this? Okay. Leo says to Harp, remove the humanity and increase the fight. That is a direct critique on humans. We're literally lacking what makes us us in turn for self-interest. This war is inhumane, enforced by humans. Remove the humanity, increase the fight. Leo wants this army to shut down this entire droid program, and he says this is the motherfucking truth. I don't know why he had to say it like that. Oh, this is when he's black. Now he's black. This is the motherfucking truth. I am the face of the never ending war. Again, does that include his blackness? A black face is the face of never ending war. Why? To whom? For who? And they ask, was it the greater good? I don't know if this movie answered that. And I actually was reading articles before we got in today, and these reports were saying, yeah, this movie brings up all these questions, but doesn't say what it thinks. Tell me what you think. And it's not vague enough as well to make us argue about, well, no, because it was this, so I feel this, and it was this, and I feel this. It's just kind of making a muck of all these philosophical ideas. Like for instance, it was that Will Smith movie. It wasn't I Am Legend, I don't think. It was an AI movie, or I think it was just called Artificial Intelligence, if I'm not mistaken, where he has to fight all these robots because they decide humans are the disease, so the robots attack.
iRobot.
Thank you so much. Like we saw this premise already. Like we already seen it, right? So if you wanted to go in that direction, I kind of wish that this movie would have posed deeper questions, different questions, and clearly answer them. Like when we saw iRobot, we knew what the answer was. Humans are a disease. Robots killed it. And we're only defending ourselves out of self-interest. Like we just don't want to die. That was very clear. This isn't quite so clear because the US is not the hero as well. So who are we rooting for? Also, where the fuck Sophia go? She just doesn't come back. Like she was convinced that he's working for us. He's gonna get this for the resistance, and then he don't, and that wasn't true. But she just never comes back and like has that answer or faces that. It just got real. And A. Barty says, "I think we know too much about war now to enjoy war movies." Is this? Do Christine L? Do you guys have any like thoughts, feelings? Do you agree with some parts? Do you disagree with some parts? How are we feeling right about here in our climactic end?
I was just like, really? You're not gonna leave? Why are you still here, bro? Leave. It's over. I don't know.
I didn't
I guess
understand why he had the
I'm
conversation.
pretty much got kind of desensitized from all the war movies. I don't know. And then like it was another part in the movie when you mentioned Sophia again. I thought about like, wait a minute. There was that one action scene where she beat up somebody with her jacket. I'm like, oh, how you beat up somebody with a jacket? How you incapacitate somebody with a jacket? I'm like, okay, white lady, whatever.
They be putting them white ladies in like super
magical jacket with my assassin moves. I'm like, get out of here with that.
They want to be black girl magic so bad.
Right?
I mean, y'all, this could have been real cute, but if you're gonna do all this, you have to say something. Don't just raise the questions, ease your characters on out, and then keep us guessing or watching. And like this conversation that Harper needs to absolutely have with Leo right now didn't answer or solve anything. So why are you there? And this is what Christine said. Why are you there? A. Barty says, all I liked about the movie is Harp gaining the experience in the field and gaining empathy for life. We can root for that, but he's not leaving. Go ahead, Elle.
Feel like the movie would have been over for me after I went back and told you, okay, good luck with Leo. He went rogue. It would have been full stop. I don't know what y'all want me to do.
Exactly. Like, okay, he's a rogue. What can I do? I'm out.
Martyr
Is
thing.
done.
Out,
Mission
like,
aborted.
no. And to the blue part, the propaganda part, that really is like a culture shock whenever you go to like another country and you visit like Vietnam, for instance. If you visit their war museums, seeing it from the Vietnamese perspective versus what we learned, it's like, oh, that's not what they told us that it happened. Like, so it's very interesting that you got propaganda from that.
Wait till they fix these textbooks for what happened on January 6th.
Oh, it's gonna
So I'm
be
telling my students the truth. Yeah.
it's gonna be the Upper Ground Railroad.
Yeah, that.
It's giving elevated train.
That was talking about.
It's giving elevated train.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be called.
We was upstairs, unlike them niggers. We was upstairs.
Okay, we up railroad movement.
All right, stop. Y'all crazy. Stop.
Oh my God.
All right, y'all. So here is how you do not use a ticking clock. All of us collectively were waiting for Harp, just to make the simple decision to leave. And there was nothing dire where he needed to stay. This is exactly how you're using a ticking clock incorrectly. And here's why. When in your movie, you're at the climactic point and you start a ticking clock, this thing has to happen in this amount of time or else death. The character should be solving a problem. And this is why this is wrong. Our hero is stalling the solution just to have a conversation, just to talk. He's acting in self-interest, right? And I don't think that was intentionally to prove the point of the movie that humans do stupid things because they're emotional. I think this was just a bad technique, a bad use of the technique. In the beginning, they knew how to break the 180 rule. Here, they did not know how to use a ticking clock. The solution is right there. All he has to do is leave, and he just won't do it. He just has to have this conversation, a conversation that doesn't solve anything or help this problem go away. So now we're just waiting. This is not suspenseful. This is not a point of tension, which it should be. Oh my God, nail biting. The clock is ticking. What is he still doing in there? Can he solve it? It's just like, boy, is you gonna go? That's not what you want, right? And this kid who has no experience beats this AI drone who shoves flags through 2 car windows to get his enemy, beats him pretty easily. Too easy for me. And then we have our final shot. All the problems are solved. Leo is dissolved. The nuclear war is dissolved. We lose an army base. We got rid of that weapon. Leo's destroyed. And Harp wins his mission, leaving, and he is a new man, forgiven by the army. He gets to come back home, and we see that yellow soaking him in humanity. And that's it. That's it. We be rooting for these movies, y'all. We really do.
At the end. You know the movie was trash. Just like awkward silence.
Because that's what the movie gave. It was just like, he's going home, and it's like, so what are we gonna do about them Russian orphans now? Like, where's Sophia? What are we? Who's the enemy? Who's the good guy? Thank you, Damson. Thank you, Anthony Mackie. Thanks. Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns.
Those are gorgeous gowns. We stand. A Barty says, I thought he was going to change his mind. He just went in there, killed the most tough AI with 3 shots and a big speech, and he's good to go. He's good to go home. Okay. CJ says, I didn't finish watching that movie feeling like he really changed. He's going back to war tomorrow. He ain't fired. He's not promoted. He's not saying, hey, I solved this problem, but I'm actually just going to go home to my wife and be a teacher. Like, he's going to go back and do the same thing on Monday. He's going to clock in and kill people on Monday. Like, so was there a character arc? This is how we could still learn from bad movies, because why is it bad? It's also very important to know what makes a movie bad. These are the things you want to stay away from. I thank everyone in the chat. I thank Christine and Elle, my VIP patrons, for being here. Any last thoughts, ladies, before we get up out of here?
I'm sorry. It was such a wasted opportunity in this movie to make it something great. Like I said, I was talking to you guys before we started the stream, that it had potential, it had promise to be a good story, but then it was not executed successfully, unfortunately. So I don't know. Well, next movie.
And you know what? It's so crazy because like when there is a bad movie, it's like I gotta sit through this movie 3 times. It's just like I spend so much time with it that I actually can find what does work, like what are the strong points of what they're trying to say. But if you just go ahead and watch the movie as it's intended, you're like, huh. All right, I guess I'll restart Snowfall. Give us Franklin or give us Death.
Every time I saw him on camera, I'm like, I'm just gonna go back and binge watch Snowfall. Because this wasn't doing it for me. No, sorry, Franklin. No.
We try, Franklin. So on the 31st, last Sunday of January, we are back with Boozy Brunch Sunday. Then Sunday, February 7th, we are doing exclusive patron-only Malcolm and Marie dissection. That's going to be really cool. What's up, Mara? And I will be back tomorrow. I am dissecting One Night in Miami, directed by Regina King. So that's going to be good because I did enjoy that movie a lot. So I'll be excited to do that. Ladies, thank you again so much. Please enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope you have tomorrow off. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for watching that movie. That's not my fault. Thank you so much for watching that movie. I felt so bad after Gemini Man. I said, I'm not going to do that to my people again. They didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that. They treat me better. All right. So we're going to get up out of here. See you later, YouTube. Bye. All right.